In the heart of a lively forest, a crow lived a modest life. He was not considered extraordinary, just another bird with dark, glossy feathers. Yet this crow often felt restless. While he could fly through the skies and call loudly across the trees, he could not shake the feeling that something was missing. One day, while flying over a calm lake, the crow spotted a swan gliding effortlessly on the water. The swan's feathers were as white as freshly fallen snow, gleaming under the warm sunlight. Its grace and elegance captivated the crow, who couldn't help but feel dull and insignificant by comparison. "Why wasn't I born as beautiful as the swan?" the crow lamented. He watched the swan for hours, lost in admiration and jealousy, before finally gathering the courage to approach it. "Excuse me, O swan," the crow said hesitantly, "but your beauty is unmatched. Your feathers are so pure and your movements so graceful. Compared to you, I am nothing but an ordinary crow. How do you feel being so admired and adored?" The swan turned its long neck and smiled kindly. "Thank you, dear crow, but I must tell you something. I wasn't always content. I used to believe I was the luckiest bird because of my white feathers, but one day I saw a parrot." "A parrot?" asked the crow, confused. "Yes," continued the swan. "The parrot's feathers were bright and colorful, unlike my plain white ones. Reds, greens, blues, so vibrant. When I saw the parrot, I thought, if only I were like the parrot, I would truly be admired." The crow was stunned. Even the elegant swan had once envied another bird. "Where can I find this parrot?" he asked, eager to see for himself. The crow flew off to find the parrot. After some searching, he heard cheerful squawking from a tree filled with fruits. There, perched on a high branch, was the parrot. Its feathers glistened in the sunlight, showcasing a dazzling array of colors: scarlet reds, emerald greens, and sapphire blues. The crow had never seen anything so vibrant. "Oh, parrot," the crow said, landing nearby. "You are truly the most beautiful bird I have ever seen. Your feathers are a rainbow, a masterpiece. I wish I could be as colorful and bright as you. Surely you must feel like the happiest bird in the world." The parrot laughed lightly. "Thank you, crow, but you are mistaken. Even I have had my moments of envy." "You? What could you possibly envy?" The parrot looked thoughtful. "I once admired the peacock. Its feathers are not just colorful, but majestic. They shimmer in ways mine cannot. Its tail, when spread, is like a royal fan. I thought, if only I were like the peacock, then I would be the most magnificent bird." The crow was shocked yet again. "Where can I find the peacock?" he asked, eager to see this legendary bird. "You'll find it in the king's gardens," said the parrot. The crow flew far and wide until he reached the king's gardens. There, in a grand enclosure, he found the peacock. True to the parrot's words, the peacock was breathtaking. Its feathers shimmered with hues of gold, emerald, and sapphire. When it spread its tail, the display was like a living tapestry, a work of art that seemed too beautiful to be real. The crow hesitated before speaking, feeling small and insignificant in the peacock's presence. "O majestic peacock," the crow said, "you are the most magnificent bird I have ever seen. Your feathers are a marvel, and your beauty is unmatched. Surely you must be the happiest bird in the world." The peacock sighed deeply. "Thank you, crow, but you are wrong." "Wrong?" the crow asked, bewildered. "How could someone as magnificent as you be unhappy?" The peacock looked around at the high walls of its enclosure. "Do you see this cage? The price of my beauty is my freedom. People admire me, but they keep me locked here so they can look at me whenever they want. I cannot fly freely through the skies as you do. I envy your freedom, crow. My freedom, the crow said, astonished. Yes, the peacock replied. You may not have bright colors or a dazzling tail, but you have the greatest gift of all, the ability to roam wherever you please. Every bird has its own blessings, but we often fail to see them because we're too busy envying others. The crow flew back to his forest deep in thought. He had spent so much time envying other birds. First the swan, then the parrot, and finally the peacock. Yet each of them had their own struggles and insecurities. None of them had everything, and each envied something. As he perched on a tree overlooking the forest, the crow realized something important. He was free to fly, to explore the world, and to be himself. His glossy black feathers were strong and resilient, helping him survive in any environment. He had qualities that no other bird possessed. From that day on, the crow decided to stop comparing himself to others. He embraced his own uniqueness and found joy in his life just as it was. The crow's journey teaches us a timeless truth. Comparing ourselves to others blinds us to our own strengths and blessings. Each of us has unique qualities that make us special, and happiness comes from appreciating our own gifts rather than wishing for someone else's.